Meldown number 532. Schiff'S eyes nearly pop out of his skull over Trump-Putin meeting. You gotta love it. For Amy Moreno for TruthFeedNews.com, the left is melting down so hard it's almost as bad as the election, and it's glorious to watch. And of course, the number one Russia conspiracy theorist is having such an epic meltdown. His bug eyes are about ready to pop. President Trump just attacked our intelligence agencies and law enforcement for doing their job while standing next to a dictator who intervened in our election to help elect Trump. Putin will take this as a green light to interfere in 2018, and it is cowardly and shameful. President Trump's performance today was the most damaging and shameful surrender of American values and interests in modern history. I say again to my Republican colleagues, wake up. Now, they're following the hashtag walk away from the Democrats movement. Let's watch Adam have a meltdown.
Congressman Adam Schiff is the ranking member of the House Intelligence Committee. He joins me from Washington, D.C. tonight. Congressman, what do you make of the president's comments today, standing next to Vladimir Putin, when presented by journalists with every opportunity to say something else, to say the most benign thing about not wanting the interference of another country into America's elections? He took no such opportunity.
He certainly didn't, and I think we were all surprised that we could still be shocked by this president's behavior, but it was stunning to see what a complete surrender of American interests and values was represented at that summit, as the President of the United States stood side by side with the Russian leader, refused to confront him, and far from it, basically said, I don't believe my own intelligence agencies, I don't trust my own Justice Department, I trust this former KGB officer more, and having just disparaged our NATO and European allies, this is the guy I want to make common cause with. It could not have been a more wholesale betrayal of what America stands for.
I think the commentary about Dan Coats caught a lot of people off guard, because the president is used to blaming you and your ilk, the Intel Committee, Democrats, whoever he calls the deep state, the FBI, all sorts of folks. But Dan Coats is a former Republican senator, whom the president picked to be his director of national intelligence. That's an important decision. You'd think at the very least, if you had trouble with your DNI, you wouldn't say it in front of the leader of an adverse nation.
Well, that's certainly true. You wouldn't make your disagreements with your own agencies or agency heads public, and you wouldn't do it certainly right at a meeting with the foreign adversary who was the architect of interference in our election. Now, this is staggering at just about any level you look at it. Why the President of the United States would want to, in a meeting like this, throw his own country under the bus. There's just no other way to interpret this except that he is not putting America first.
The only people that tried to throw America under the bus were you, the Democrats, and it's so obvious in all your actions with the illegals that you protect before the American citizens, wanting Hillary in office. We know what a disaster that would be like.
In this case, he was clearly putting Russia first and putting what must be his sense of his own personal. Mm-hmm. But it's hard to see, frankly, how he advanced his personal interests by this complete debasement in front of this dictator.
But it's easy to see how Vladimir Putin benefits from the press conference today, how he benefited from the president criticizing NATO, president criticizing Germany's internal political issues with natural gas pipelines last week, criticizing Theresa May and her handling of Brexit. This seems like it couldn't have been orchestrated better if Vladimir Putin orchestrated the last 7 days himself.
Well, that's absolutely right. I mean, this is the Kremlin's dream come true. You have a U.S. president who is affirmatively trashing our NATO alliance, trashing the European Union.
Yeah, we're not paying for NATO, idiot. So you guys want to pay for it? We'll send you the bill. We're not paying for it. We're behind President Trump 100%. Notice, did he just mention the Paris Climate Accord?
Pushing for a faster Brexit, pushing for other countries like France
Sure.
to also leave.
Yeah, we don't want the New World Order. No, that's why Trump got elected.
Europe, and then comes to Helsinki and basically says, I completely agree with the Russia talking points. I completely agree with what the
So do I.
Kremlin is having Vladimir Putin say, and that is there was no interference in the American election.
No, the only interference was from you corrupt Democrats and the money Hillary was getting from the Russians.
Would Russia interfere? It's just beyond comprehension. And at some point, the members of this body, Democrats and Republicans, need to speak out in unity to rebuke this president and this betrayal of our values.
How does that happen, Congressman? How does that happen? Who makes that happen? Because there has been all...
That's their dream. That's their dream. It ain't happening. The only people, there's going to be a big line headed for Gitmo.
Universal condemnation of the president's comments today across the board and across party lines. But as you said, you wouldn't have thought you could be more surprised, except for all of us watching this press conference today were once again surprised at a level we didn't expect.
Well, you've got a few people like John McCain who are speaking out.
Yeah, another traitor just like you.
Quite directly and very strongly, but you've got the vast majority of GOP members in this Capitol who are remaining silent, who are running away.
No, the only one that wasn't silent was Paul Ryan that stood behind you guys because we know he's a rhino just like John McCain.
The camera, or merely describing this as a opportunity. This was no missed opportunity. This was a complete surrender of our values.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
And our interests and our national security. And people need to speak out.
What national security? What national security? The Pakistani IT workers got a hold of all the congressional information on the computers working from Pakistan. You're talking about national security, you moron? You think people are stupid? They don't see through this garbage? National security? How about the 33,000 emails that were classified and only 4 were intervened by a foreign entity, and the foreign entity was not Russia, mind you. So what does that leave, huh? And they talk about national security, you know, like they talk about these things, and you know why? Because the mainstream media is being paid for to spew this kind of garbage.
How does that happen? I don't know what more it will take. I would have thought we would have been at that point when the president called our press the enemy of the people.
Yous are the enemy of the people. Yous are, because you give nothing but falsehoods on camera. You are the enemy of the people. You don't tell the truth.
Started denigrating judges based on their ethnicity or separating kids from their parents. But
that's not our concern. That's not our concern. It's the parents' concern that brought them over.
Here, any vestige the GOP has of being the party of Ronald Reagan is gone. And for these members here in this building to remain mute, they make themselves complicit in the undermining of our national interests.
Congressman, this will be one of those days where all Americans are going to remember exactly where they were when they heard that.
Oh, we will remember, that's for sure. That's for sure. And you know what? Get Schiff too. Don't, make room for him. Make room for him to go to be prosecuted.
Press conference taking place. Congressman Adam Schiff, thanks for making the time tonight.
You're right. I think Americans are going to remember where they were when the American president betrayed the interests of our country.
No, he did not.
Congressman, thanks.
He did not betray the interests of the American people. You and your party have betrayed America, along with crooked Hillary. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.